year, right? So, I mean, that's
how
how to
upset
defend it.
are you, man? Because you know in the locker rooms they announce usually team meeting room, LaShawn McCoy, you made the Pro Bowl.
Listen, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel how Chris is probably feeling. I'm gonna take you back.
What year?
2012.
Okay.
I think, right?
Adrian
11.
Peterson would have made it.
No, 12. You know, made it. Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson for the
Now,
Rams.
he's nice. I love Steven Jackson.
Yep.
But at this point, I was eating though. I was balling. I was getting meaningful yards, right? All-purpose yards. I was getting busy. Why did I make that? Then the next year I made All-Pro. I don't know what it was. I mean, so I feel he's saying, although they do say this, the year you're supposed to make it, you don't make it.
You always make it the next
You
year.
always make it the next year. So I respected it. Now, I did make a phone call, right? I ain't gonna lie to
Who you
y'all.
call?
I keep it honest.
Who you call?
No matter who it is.
Who'd you call?
I called. I said, hey, man, can I get this Pro Bowl? Can I get this? Oh, you know who it was? It was Mike Turner from Atlanta. That's who
Mike
it was.
Turner over you.
Come on, man. And he was on the down end. He started up high, and he ended up quick down there.
What, you call him and ask him not to go?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
What did he do? Did he go?
He said, no, he's gone.
I respect it.
You respect
No,
that?
on both sides. I respect you for asking, and I respect him for saying
What do
no.
you mean he's supposed to tell you no, you could go instead?
Watch this. I won't say names.
Okay.
Right? But I didn't go to all my Pro Bowls.
you got a couple calls.
I didn't went to like 2. You know what I mean? You want to go young bull? I got you. Boom. Now, at this time, I believed in alternates. Now, I don't believe in alternates. If you make an alternate Pro Bowl, I don't count that.
Let me ask you this. The people got to, you know what I'm saying, slide you a little something for you to not go to the Pro Bowl?
No.
So your heart.
I'm all about the young boys getting busy. I'm
Okay.
all about the young boys making a career for themselves.
Very
I
generous.
don't do no hating.
Because you know either way, you're going to get that Pro Bowl nod when it comes down to it. Like whether you playing the game or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you get the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, you get the star by
But alternates don't count, though. That don't count. It's like I said, like 7 Pro Bowls, and he never should have started.
Well, why would you give up your spot if it doesn't count then?
What you mean?
Like, if you don't go, then somebody else gets
Yeah,
to
but
go.
yeah, it counts for me. It doesn't count for them.
It doesn't count for them. It's just a
like,
trip
in
for
my
them.
mind, like, come on, you got an award that nobody didn't want to play. Now, when you're 21 years old, I would take that.
But when you're 31?
Yeah, like,
Been there, done that.
All right, we're moving on because Tua is closer to 21 than 31. And though he won the fan vote, got the most fan votes, Tua Tagovailoa, he did not make the AFC Pro Bowl roster. Now, keep in mind, players and coaches are also involved in the voting process. So, Joy, I'm coming to you because Tua won the fan vote, most fan votes, but then didn't make the roster, which means players and coaches did not have him in their top 3. What does that say about Tua?
Well, I think his reputation around the league still has some developing to do. I mean, the fans obviously love him. Dolphins fans obviously love him. We love him. We think he's the future of the franchise. But you have to accomplish things. You have to have accomplishments in order to get the benefit of the doubt. He also missed multiple games this season. Not his fault, obviously, but he was out for games. The guys who made it in didn't miss any games, if I'm correct. Burrow,
Right, yeah.
Allen and Mahomes.
Yeah.
They didn't miss any games. So, you know, when you're not available, even if it isn't your fault, people tend to count that against you as well. And let's be honest, we thought of the Dolphins as a top team in the league. They went up against another top team in the league, the Niners, and it looked ugly. It looked ugly. And if you're Allen or you're Mahomes or you're Burrow, who just played in the Super Bowl, then you're going to get the benefit of the doubt for that loss. And obviously, the players and coaches are not at the space where they're giving Tua that benefit of the doubt. Now, the good thing about this is you're still playing. Go shut them up.
Yeah.
Go show them that they were wrong. I don't look at this so much as a snub when you consider who is in above him, and you consider that he missed games, and you consider that you lost to the Niners, and then you lost a game against the Chargers, which you needed to win. And you didn't lose because it was a close, great game, battle to the end. You lost because you played badly. So I don't look at this so much as a snub, and what it really tells you is the fans are all in, and they love him, which is great and important, but this is also a judgment of your peers, and they feel like you still have more to show.
Dave, is it disrespect, not a snub, but is it disrespect given the fact that clearly the fans love him, they think incredibly highly of Tua, but his peers don't think that he is on that top 3 and maybe even not top 4 level because the fan vote couldn't balance it out? Any disrespect towards Tua?
None whatsoever. I mean, think of the guys that made the Pro Bowl roster in the AFC. Like, for me, it just speaks to, again, the balance of power in the NFL right now really feels like it's shifted to the AFC, and this is why. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had a 4-interception game in the season opener, and he's been great ever since. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes' credentials speak for themselves, especially Patrick Mahomes. Like, Who are you taking off? Who are you taking off for Tua? It's not disrespect. It's a credit to, and I mean, we don't have to go here, but this doesn't even bring Justin Herbert into the conversation. I mean, there's 5 or 6 really special quarterbacks in the AFC. You look at the NFC. I mean, Tua would be on the Pro Bowl roster if he played in the NFC.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it's disrespect.
Yeah, and then another thing is, like, I feel like when Tua was hot, right, early in the year, everybody was riding that wave. This league is about what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
So I think, and Joe Burrow wasn't as hot. So I think if you switched it, right, and like maybe they had the votings earlier, I think Tua probably would have made this list. So I don't think it was a snub. I think that, quarterbacks that got selected in front of him are better than him, and they're playing a lot better. That's all it is.
Okay, well, if it wasn't a snub, then let's talk about some of the snubs. We talked about this in this pre-show meeting. For me, I'm looking around at the linebacker position, and I'm like, how does Dre Greenlaw, linebacker for the 49ers, not make a Pro Bowl? How does Javon Hargrave, D-tackle for the Eagles, 10 sacks as an interior defensive lineman, he doesn't make the Pro Bowl, but Aaron Donald, who only played 9 games, if I'm not mistaken, Hargrave got more sacks than Donald played games. How does Hargrave not make the Pro Bowl? I have several snubs I can count off, but Dave, I want to hear about yours.
Yeah, the unsexy positions really, they lose out. Hargrave's a great one. Another one for me, guy from your team, Joy, Christian Wilkins, top 10 in the league in tackles for a loss.
He's balling.
Fantastic player. I was pretty shocked given the Dolphins were winning during a lot of the voting period. I was surprised not to see him. And then Matt Milano for the Bills. I just want to give him a shout out. One of the central pieces of that defense. And look, I wish we could do something because outside linebackers, basically edge rushers like TJ Watt, they get into the Pro Bowl as an outside linebacker. You don't play linebacker, my guy. Come on. Matt Milano, like, there's nothing sexy about having 1 sack and a few, maybe an interception, but then 85 tackles. But that is important. He tied his number from last season, and we still have 3 games to play.
He's been hurt, too.
Yeah, he's playing outstanding.
Milano's a great one.
I would have liked to see
Joy,
him.
where you at? Biggest snub?
So this is going to be a little shocking, but I'm going to give the Lions some love. I don't know that it's kind of hard to argue for the 3rd quarterback in the NFC. Like you just mentioned, all of the balance of power for that position is in the AFC right now. But I think Jared Goff deserved. I mean, you're talking about what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL.
Yes.
The offense has been great all season long. They haven't had a problem scoring points all season long. It's been the defense for half of the year, and now they've corrected that, which is why they're able to win the games that they're winning. But they have the 5th offense in points per game in the league, behind the Bills, Cowboys, Eagles, and Chiefs. All teams that are expected to go, well, maybe not the Cowboys, but all teams that are expected to go, deep into the playoffs. He's had an unbelievable season, and he's really shown that he didn't just need Sean McVay in order to be successful. Now, I don't want us to get too far ahead of ourselves. Obviously, he went to a Super Bowl with Sean McVay, but he's had a nice resurgence for his career in Detroit, and they have completely corrected from the disaster that was the start of their season. And it was never his fault to begin with that they were in that situation. So I think it would have been nice to show Jared some love in the Pro Bowl.
Jalen Waddle. Like, I don't love the Dolphins, but I respect them.
Yep.
I love how they change things around. Him and Tyreek are top 5 in receiving yards.
Both over 1,000.
Now, this is the thing, though. Now, Jamar Chase, he's one of my favorite receivers in the league. Seriously, like, before this year, I would have said that he was probably top 3 in the league, and that's good for a rookie. Like, you never hear that. But we got to give Waddle his credit. Like, that's hard to do.
Got 1,100 yards.
1,100 yards, come on. It didn't the dance. You know what I'm saying? So
Dance is international.
that was the biggest snub, I think. The numbers speak for it, the success. When a team been trashed for years, now they on the scene, they balling, potential to make the playoffs. Like, all that matters for the playoffs. All that matters for the Pro Bowl. How well are you playing, stats? How well are you doing for your team? All that stuff plays into it.
I got a personal question for you. Probably a few of them. Is there any envy when you know you should have made the Pro Bowl, but you see one of your teammates who probably shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl, and they did? Because there are a couple Dolphins players.
Wait.
Is there any envy?
That's like dry snitching a little bit.
I'm not. You don't got to tell me like a legit story. But like, has there ever been a moment where you like, how the heck did he make the Pro Bowl?
You call your mom, you ain't gonna believe who made the Pro Bowl. That's a good question. I've never been in a situation. All my guys, we made Pro Bowls because we deserve it.
Okay.
But I've never been in a situation.
Okay, final thought. You are running back. Let's talk NFC running backs. You were running back in the NFC, 15,000 yards. Tony Pollard, The backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys made the Pro Bowl. Ezekiel Elliott, the $95 million starting running back, did not. If you are Zeke, I'm sure you're not jealous, but there's a part of you sitting there like,
what?
Yo, now he for sure better.
No.
What I do wrong?
Oh, tell him, Shay.
What I do wrong?
Keep it in 100, right? Because I do like Zeke.
Yep.
And Zeke's decline, it's not really him. It's the Cowboys. They used him up. That's what happens. You get 300.
They do that.
300 plus carries a year. You're not gonna be the same guy. But when he's in that meeting room, I've been there. You're in the meeting room. We watching tape with the running back coach. You see what I'm doing, and then you see what Pollard's doing. He ain't upset or mad or jealous. He see what the coach sees, what I see, what this guy sees. He sees what's going on. Pollard is probably the most explosive offensive weapon on the team, right?
Yep.
So we can agree with that. Zeke knows that. He cool with that. Hey, good job, bro. Hey, you deserve it. I mean, and Zeke got a couple Pro Bowls, so you're not really jealous.
But eventually, you got to start counting your pocketbooks. You're the third highest paid running back in the history of the NFL. I will stay out of your pockets, but you stay in your own pockets. But you stay in your own pockets. What part of Zeke is like, you know what? I still got a year left on my deal. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, he's got way more than that.
I still got a couple years left on my deal.
Zeke's under contract for a long time.
Guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
The guarantees are running out. There we go.
Okay.
What part of Zeke is starting to count his own pockets, knowing like, hey, he can't ball too hard?
Watch this. So week 3, he seen it coming. And then when Zeke got hurt and he took over, what week was that? I know you know. I'm not a Dallas guy, but I know the numbers.
Oh, gosh. Put me on. I mean, it was like midseason.
Mid-season.
Yeah.
And then when he took off, because the whispers, when there's whisper, there's some truth behind it. Pollard should be starting. He should get more carries, right? That's how it starts. And then Jerry backs him up. Oh, no, we go through Zeke. But when you see the numbers,